that water goes, chemical changes that water goes under as it goes through the digestive tract. But I will maintain an open mind and take a look at Dan Nelson's paper, and then I'll have a comment on it after I read whatever the guy has to say about it. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, Ken. All right, Bruce in Connecticut, what's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Hey, Ben. Thanks for taking my call. I'm doing okay. I actually took a fall on my shoulder 3 weeks ago, and I've been mending from it. And I've tried to call in a couple of times, but you've become so popular, it is very difficult to get on. I'm trying to put the pieces together for listening to what seems like over a year. And what I've learned is I went to a health food store, got probiotics, something called Primal Defense by Garden of Life.
Jordan Rubin.
Yeah, and I listened to your advice about starting off with 1 and then 2 and then 3, and then finally I'm up to 4 or 5, and I started to notice the results. So I had to increase my dosage to get some of the benefits you're talking about. But the reason I'm calling today is I'm trying to connect the dots to what you're talking about, and I'm trying the things that you're mentioning on the air. I'm really interested in solutions and how to deal with GMO and some of the toxins in food and what's going on with genetically modifying the food. And I also wanted to get your take on a mini trampoline, like a 40-inch trampoline, where we go on and rebound from it. If you could touch those issues, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, I didn't quite. The only question I really heard you ask me about was the rebounding. I'm not sure what you want me to say about the GMOs. Obviously, they're a big problem. But what are you going to do? The cat's out of the bag. You know, once you start playing around with seeds, there's really no way to control them. So
yeah, I'm talking about from your perspective. What I'm probably eating genetically.
Don't eat a Taco Bell. For number one, stay away from don't eat food made by big companies that could care less whether you or your children lived or died. And that's Taco Bell, and that's McDonald's and Ruby Tuesdays and all the other things you see advertised on TV. But you can't really, can't control it. Once a seed is in the soil and it produces a plant, and that plant gives off seeds, it's out in the environment. There's no way to really control it. So we're going to run into a big problem here. And I've said this before. We've done, as human beings, we have done such a number trashing our planet that you can't avoid the mercury, and you can't avoid the GMOs, and you can't avoid the toxins that are in the soil and in the air and in the water and in the fish and in the animals that we eat and in the vegetables. Even if you're eating organic vegetables, they still spray it with water, or they still water the ground, and that water's got drugs in it, and that water's got all kinds of nasty chemicals in it. We just ruined our environment. We're idiots. The human race is composed of idiots, and that includes me and you and everybody else who claims to be a human being. And that's just what we do. So we got to live with this kind of toxicity. But what you can do is control where you can control. That means staying away from processed foods, number one. It's staying away from foods that's made by people who don't care about you. And if you see it advertised on television, that's a food that qualifies as a food made by a company that doesn't care about you. If it's not made by your mother or by somebody you love, your wife or your friend or somebody else, it's probably not a food that you want to eat. Be very, very, very selective and careful about what you put in your mouth. That's number one. It doesn't do us any good to scream about GMOs and mercury and fluoride and chemtrails, et cetera, if we're driving through McDonald's. So control where we can control. Dr. Hurley calls it locus of control. Where we have the locus of control is on the kind of foods we eat, number one. The kind of supplements we use for the digestive system is also important. Not putting an undue burden on the digestive tract. This is called, or on the body. Not putting an undue burden on the immune system, especially. Dr. Rogers calls it immune load. And what she means is the immune system is kind of like a camel, and everything we give the immune system to process, whether it's from the air, the water, the food, whatever, is like a straw that gets put on top of the immune system's back, and then all of a sudden, one thing acts like a straw that breaks the immune system's back, so to speak. And we'll blame the pollen, and we'll blame the GMO, and we'll blame the mercury, but really what it is, it's the accumulation of toxicity, the accumulation of poisons that we put into the body over time. Control where we can control. Stay away from problem foods. Build the digestive tract. Use the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Make sure you're on the Mighty 90. As far as your rebounding, your mini trampoline goes, rebounding is one of the most powerful and effective exercise strategies you could ever use. If you wake up in the morning tired, chances are you got a congested and clogged lymph. If you have a good night's sleep, you get 8 hours of sleep, and you don't wake up completely rested, chances are your lymph is stagnant and clogged. As soon as you get out of bed, head over to your rebounder. It costs costs you about $50 or $60 for a good mini trampoline. Head over to the mini trampoline and jump for 2 minutes just to move the lymph around. You get off of that mini trampoline, you're going to feel like a new person. If you feel cold coming on, get on the rebounder. If you have any stiff joints, we've been talking about connective tissue. Connective tissue stiffness is a sign that the connective tissue in your arteries is also stiff. The connective tissue in your face is also stiff. So making sure your connective tissue is loose and limber is a major health strategy, not just for the connective tissue in the body structure, but also the connective tissue in the circulatory system, the connective tissue in the skin, wherever there's connective tissue. And getting on a rebounder can help loosen up the connective tissue, bring more oxygen to the connective tissue, improve detoxification to the connective tissue as well, from the connective tissue as well. So, Bruce, a rebounder is the best $60 or so investment you can ever make in your health. It'll last you for years, and if it'll only take you 2 or 3 minutes to exploit or leverage the advantages of it. And I cannot tell you how functional, how important a rebounder can be, especially if you're coming down with a cold, as I said last week. It's a great way to move the lymphatic system if you feel kind of sluggish and you feel like you might be getting sick. Thanks for your call, Bruce. Appreciate it. And I apologize for you guys who we left on hold. Give us a call back tomorrow. Tell our call screener we left you on hold and we'll get you first up. And that's all the time we have for today on the Bright Side. If you're in the Bay Area, I'd love to see you on March 7th at the Vintage Faith Church in Santa Cruz, California. And we'll be getting on around 6:30 or so. Try to get there. All right, tomorrow we'll continue talking cysteine, and we'll talk about how it relates to the skin and how it relates to the hair with a very interesting hair product a lot of women know about. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the Bright Side. Thanks for listening, folks. Check out my website, brightsideben.com. Click on the Join the Team link and start yourself a longevity business. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
The state of our drinking water today is worse than at any time in human history. Studies show that most drinking water contains heavy metals, aluminum, chromium-6, agricultural and industrial toxins. If you get regular headaches, migraines, chronic pain, foggy thinking, fatigue, or nervous system malfunctions, you may have a buildup of these harmful toxins. This week at waterwebinar.com, in an all-new free webinar, Earth's most powerful cleansing secret is being revealed. Use it to neutralize inorganic particles like lead, aluminum, arsenic, and even mercury, and remove these accumulated poisons from your body. These toxins accumulate in your body over time and can cause many problems. You can get them out. Go to waterwebinar.com now and sign up for free to find out how to turn even the worst tap water imaginable into pristine water with powerful healing properties. It's your body, your water, your freedom. You have a right to drink pristine, clean water. Come and claim it. Go to waterwebinar.com now. That's waterwebinar.com. Go now and sign up for free.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.